Hey, Steve Stine from Guitarzoom here. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be breaking down that passage I just played and see if we can't find some stuff in there that is useful to you in your playing, if you play any rock or metal or anything like that. So if you find this video useful, please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and maybe share it with somebody else that can find use as well. All right, so let's set this up. First of all, the backing track that I'm using is in the key of E minor, and I'm playing with a triplet feel, which means it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, as I show you the things that I'm doing, certainly I never expect you to do it exactly the same way I'm doing it. If you find that there's certain fingers that work better, or a certain note that you'd rather change, or a certain picking or slurring idea that you'd rather do, you know, if I'm picking something and you'd rather do it as a hammer-on or a pull-off or vice versa, don't ever feel bad about that stuff. The most important thing is you need to find your comfort zone when you play different things. That way, when you play, it sounds comfortable, it sounds smooth. Not only does it make you feel better about what you're doing, but it certainly sounds better for your listener as well. So let's break down what I'm doing and see if we can't find something that's useful for you, okay? So the first thing I'm going to start with here is playing an E minor triad. So I'm playing E, G, and B. And if you don't know what that terminology is, don't worry about it. Just follow along and let's see if we can find some stuff that's useful for you. So I'm going to play that twice. So I'm just going E, G, B, E, G, B. I'm playing 7, 5, 9. Okay. Now I'm picking all of these, but if there's something you'd rather do, it's perfectly fine. I'm playing down, down, and then an up. So I'm pushing through 2 strings and then pulling back up. But I've found myself when I do things very similar to this, sometimes I'll just do that as a hammer-on as well. And that's okay as well. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to the next octave. I'm going to play E, G, and B again. But instead of playing the B on the first string here at the 7th fret, I'm actually going to slide to it at the 12th fret of the 2nd string. So I have... Now again, you just want to hammer from 5 to 8 and then head up to the 12, slide up to that 12, and that would be okay too. Then I'm going to turn around and play 8 on the first string, 12, and then do a pull off to the 8th fret of the 2nd string. So I have this now. And you can feel the groups of 3 at this point. Now that's going to change in just a little bit. The triplet feel will still be there, but the groupings are going to change a little bit. Now, when I get to that 8, what I'm going to do is slide up to the 12th fret again, but this time I'm sliding on my first finger, which situates my hand in a new position. Okay, so I go... And that's going to enable me now to play 12, 15, 12, 15, which is going to look very pentatonic now. And you can hammer or pick whatever you want at that point. So as I go... And then after I play 12, 15, 12, 15, I'm going to slide up with my pinky now to the 19th fret. Now, real quick, just so you understand, I often refer to these kinds of movements as escape routes. And the reason I call them that is because we have to be aware that if we're again, it might seem obvious to some people, but not to everybody. When you elect when you're playing something to slide with your first finger, you have to understand that now your hand will be on this side, so you're going to be playing the position that exists over here. If you decide to slide with your pinky, you're going to be playing on this side, which I know, again, is obvious, but I want you to think about that because as I'm playing this, because I slide with my pinky, that's what enables me to, examine the next little passage I want to play, which is going to exist on this side. Now I slide up with my first finger and I'm going to play on this side. Now I'm sliding up with my pinky, and now I'm going to play something on this side. So I'm very aware of that as I'm moving across my guitar. if you think about it, what's really nice to learn how to do is to play a lot of little pieces of different kinds of things on your guitar. And if you understand that kind of concept of escape route where you're on your first finger and you're going to have things that are available with this fingering, or if you slide with your pinky, now you're going to have things available on this side. So sometimes that will help determine whether you want to slide on one finger or the another finger to get into a different position, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's keep going here. So now I'm up here on the 19th fret. I'm going to do 19-15 pull-off, 19-15 pull-off. Then I'm going to play 16 with my middle finger, and then 17 with my ring finger. Okay, so I have... So let me put that all together real quick here for you. Pull off from 17 to 14 and slide to the 12. Now what I'm going to do is that exact same thing one octave lower. So this entire sequence here, I'm going to do right here on the 16th fret of the 3rd string. See how it's the same thing? So I'm just doing that in 2 different octaves, okay? So again, if we kind of break this down into the 3 grouping, so we can, or the triplet feel. So when I get there, I'm starting a next triplet grouping here. Now remember, the grouping of the triplet feel doesn't mean I have to play 3 notes in a sequence. It just means in my mind I got to keep thinking da 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 da, and maybe even find where the first of those 3 exist in each one of these things that I'm playing. So as I practice along with a metronome, I can keep trying to line that up, right? Now I'm here at the 10th fret of the 6th string. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to work my way back up. I'm on the 10, so I'm going to do a hammer on the 12. Then I'm going to play 10-12, 10-12. Again, just using those wider intervals, if you will, those wider positions on the guitar, which sound kind of cool because it keeps you from always just playing everything in that manner. There's nothing wrong with playing scale ideas, things like that, but when you play those wider shapes, sometimes it sounds kind of cool on the guitar. Okay, so let's go back to that. So here's my 10-12. This is what I ended on, right? I went. So I'm going to go back to 12. I'm going to play 10-14, 10-14. And then I'm just going to end with this little scalar run that goes like this. So I'm playing 11, 12, 14, 12, 13, 15. Then I'm just coming back down the whole thing. And then ending on the 14th fret of the 4th string, which is the E, or the root again. So if I put the whole thing together nice and slow so you can kind of practice along, and of course you can just rewind the video as much as you need to here. I'm going to play it nice and slow. Okay, a little bit faster. Now, if there's a certain part of that you like more than something else, or a certain lick or idea stands out in your mind, and the rest of it, you know, is fine, but you really like a certain part, what I always try and do is I try and find ideas from different songs or different, you know, artists that I like. just all kinds of different places. And if I can find something that I kind of like, then I like to extract that idea and mess around with it and see if I can make it become something that's comfortable for me. Maybe you don't need to learn this whole thing. Maybe you just like one little part. As long as you're learning something and you can utilize it in your own playing, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? So again, thank you so much for taking some time to hang out with me. Hopefully this helped you a little bit. If it did, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and share the video with somebody else. That would be really awesome. So take care, stay positive, and keep practicing. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you click the subscribe button so you're always notified when I have new videos. And if you need help choosing a guitar course that's perfect for you, make sure that you click the Help Me Choose link in the description.